Hello and welcome, race fans, as we got another wonderful night of Tuesday night racing action for you here at the HCK Beagles Racing League as they take on the big and mighty Talladega Super Speedway here in this Freedom Landscaping 175. We cannot wait to see what action unfolds here. There were some new rules discussed, and at least hopefully everybody is appeased by them, but till then we gotta wait and see if they have to come into effect. On that note, let's get this party started using that good old national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these great races are brought to you by some fantastic partners and sponsors here, like Freedom Landscaping. Go ahead and give them a call at 336-909-0629 to revitalize your yard. I also have Davidson Builders on board the entire season. Be sure to go and look them up on Facebook and contact them if you're looking at doing any projects in that kind of northern New Jersey area. They are a premier remodeling company, as well as AdminBoxx. Go ahead and order yours today to help your guidance while trying to admin and race control some of these leagues. As we all know, they can get kind of crazy and feisty. At a push of the button, you can solve all your problems. So be sure to go ahead and go contact AdminBoxx and order yours today. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I cannot lift my arms above my head, but I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English, the man, the champion beer curler, the man who knows how to now brew some pumpkin brew. We got Mr. Alan English down there. Alan, we're back here at Talladega. We saw an interesting finish last night. I think we're in store for another good one here tonight.
Yeah, man, Talladega is always fun. We got another 65 laps of Talladega tonight. Difference is we got these trucks today instead of the next-gen cars. What's the difference? The trucks have less horsepower. They got more drag. They're going to draft better. They're easier to save if they get sideways because you got that thing, the whole side of that bed, and that whole fender is going to catch that wind. It's got a giant spoiler on the back. So they're a lot more forgiving. They're easier to drive, and they can take a beating. So these guys are going to be out there having a little bit of contact with each other tonight. So hopefully get lots of green laps, but want to see some action out there too, man. Turner being gone, I'm kind of wanting for some fighting and some contact out there.
Man, oh man, you mentioned it there. Mr. Adam Turner still playing hooky. Don't worry, guys. He's safe and sound. I think he's at some sort of weird beat laboratory convention or something. Either way, we're joined once again by Mr. Greg Klein. Greg, I know you're starting to kind of get the handle of how they run things over here in these kind of super speedway style leagues, and I think Talladega is just going to show off how much these trucks absolutely need that draft here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a different race than we saw in Atlanta last week. Totally different track. This is more traditional super speedway. The trucks make a big hole in the air. I'm really looking forward to this. These guys will be running 75% fuel with 4 tires such the race and 2 fast repairs, and hopefully we won't need both of them. Looking forward to this. It's going to be a great race.
That indeed, as we take a look at that race info, this 2.66 mile track, big, long, and strong, as you can see there. That start-finish line, as always, we mentioned it, it's after that kind of tri-oval area, so that extra couple hundred feet makes for some great finishes here. But otherwise, bright, sunshiny day. Track's a little warm, but not too warm. I think these guys will be A-okay. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and that is going to be follow the run. Man, you do not want to be that guy left out here coming down this final stretch, seeing that outside line is coming up on the run, and you're just kind of sticking where you're at.
We kind of saw that last night with the next gen cars being dependent on the draft as they are here at Talladega. And yeah, Derek Welch and the 3 machine of Chris Muth Jr. Stayed nose to tail most of the race, and they'd get some incredible runs, especially in that middle lane. That's what I want to ask you guys. Do you think we're going to see something similar tonight with, even if guys aren't, side by side with somebody, will they be up a lane higher than that yellow line like we saw last night?
It could definitely happen. I think it's going to be all about who and what group kind of stay together the tightest and the longest. I think that's where we're really going to see those runs. Again, kind of being in that middle, it gives you that little extra cushion. You're not worried about hitting the apron. You're not worried about hitting the wall. So I think these guys, if they find their way into the middle, they can be a little bit more aggressive.
It depends on how well they line up, too. If you can get these trucks really, really square and lined up and pushing hard, you can really make some good time with these guys.
As Derek Welch and Earl Evans have their face cameras on up here. Earl Evans using strategic placement of his seat to hide his little Caesar's pizza box there behind him, but glad he's able to join us here tonight, and he's not going to be racing hungry. We also have Mr. Kevin Winker here with us, his room all painted green, hoping to bring home the green here tonight with a win. He's had a kind of rough season here, something we don't normally see from Kevin Winker. Normally he's pretty solid up in that top 5, but he's had a rough one this season thus far.
Yeah, he's you said it right there. Couldn't say it any better. He's had a rough season. He's looking to improve it. We've got quite a few more races left to go here, so there's always hope for the 42.
Yes, sir, as these drivers make their way around trying to put in their qualifying time. Let's go ahead and see what that leaderboard looks like right now. And woo, it is the 6 of Paul Durkee jumping out to the early pole position. Just waiting to see kind of what other people have as 00 Joe Bennett comes across the line to finish up his go-around. Does he improve? It does not look like it. We also got Henry Wyndham just finishing up. Matthew Jones, the chef of the Ghost Kitchen, and I think the lead chef over there at Mrs. P's, joining us here tonight, driving that 66 machine around. I think he just got joined up with a new teammate there with Andrew Hansley.
Yeah, I want to thank NTG Trucking for joining us over on YouTube, as well as Andrew Hansley. So much, guys, for coming on and supporting y'all's drivers. And ready to kick this thing off here in just a few more minutes. Looks like we got about 5 more minutes left in the qualifying session. I think most of the drivers have taken, most of the drivers that are going to take their couple of laps of qualifying. Looks like most of them have already done it. We've got 21 drivers that have taken a time so far. We do have, let's see, we have 35 trucks registered for this race. So still some opportunity for some guys to get up front there and mix it up if they can qualify well.
That indeed. Someone who's been qualifying well so far this season, it's that 51 of Joshua Moore. I think he's been on pole more than, we're not going to go there. Either way, that 51 machine, he is running out there pretty strong.
It's a PG-rated broadcast.
PG-13, somewhere in there.
It's a family show.
Paul Durkee still hanging on to that number 1 spot in that Goat Island Brewing number 6 Toyota.
As the 2 of America's driver, don't get him fooled with Team America. So kind of surprised there's not too much battling going on between those two guys, but Albert driving his 2 machine around, trying to put in a qualifying lap here. Same thing with that 76 of Michael Hicks. Saw him have a pretty solid run here last week. Look forward to seeing him, to what charges he can make here tonight.
Because you know he will. Michael Hicks in that 76 machine, he is one of those guys that he may not qualify up near the front, but he's going to work his way up there one way or another. He's one of them sneaky guys that you might look back and he'll be 21st and look again a few laps later and he'll be 8th. You just never know what he's going to do.
Just like that, Durkee moves down not 1 but 2 spots as Moore takes that lead spot with Adamson there in 2nd right now. Golly, these guys are running hard.
Adamson beating out Durkee's time by 1,000th of a second. And Joshua Moore, he put a solid 10th or so on these guys. He's pretty good lap time right there, a 56.971. Pretty damn good time with the horsepower that's been taken out of this truck.
That indeed is. Here comes Albert Anderson trying to set a lap time here. Let's see, does he launch himself up that leaderboard? He does. He jumps over his teammate of Mike Adamson there to take over that 2nd spot.
Albert knows how to qualify now. We know that. Just 3,000ths faster than Adamson.
I need to get some lessons from him because qualifying at a super speedway is not my strong suit whatsoever.
Well, also in your defense, though, it matters, but it doesn't matter. This race is going to be long enough that guys that are currently out here in the back, like Henry Wyndham, Kenneth Stocks, and Dusty Smith, they got a ton of time to work their way up through the field, and I'm sure we're going to see some cautions and some shenanigans go around. So these guys, they might be back there right now, but I can almost guarantee you some of them, they're going to find their way on up to the front.
I want to thank Miss Carol Hansley for joining us over on YouTube once again, saying have fun, everyone. Good luck, number 24 and number 66. Y'all hammer down.
Man, that's a fun part of super speedway racing. It doesn't really matter where you start. As long as you catch the draft right, you can make it up to the front pretty easily.
So, Greg, you're one of those guys, you know how to save some tires. You know how to save some fuel as well. I mean, being up front sounds all well and good, but you don't really want to be the lead car for too long because you're the guy that's running wide freaking open, and the guys behind you are running 3/4 throttle, 60, 80% throttle. They're saving gas, and you're not.
Yeah, honestly, row 3 is probably about the best place to be because row 2 is going to be pushing hard on the leader. So row 3 is probably the best fuel-saving spot. Tires, I don't think are going to matter on this track. I know they've got 4 sets, but you may not see anybody change tires here. It just really doesn't have a whole lot of effect at this particular track.
Yes, sir, indeed. As the qualifying session is ending in 3, 2, and 1. Qualifying has closed. Our grid is set, and these drivers are going to now make their way on down to the racing surface. And boy, oh boy, here we go. We got Joshua Moore winning pole position here once again. Man, it's starting to get a little boring there. Getting to talk to Josh every single week. But either way, a good lap there for him, as well as Albert Anderson. He's going to be starting here on the outside in row number 1, starting second. The 54, Mike Adamson's going to start here in third with the 6 of Paul Durkee, who looked very strong from the start of that session. Well, he ends up starting here in 4, still a pretty good spot. The 88 of Zach Staten, part of those Staten brothers. He's going to start here in 5th with the 42 of Kevin Winker on his outside. So teammates finding themselves together here. It's going to be starting in 6th. In 7th, we're going to have the 3 of Hunter Smith. He's had a few good runs here, getting a wins and whatnot. He's going to have the 84 of Josh Bittner. I know those two cars are like magnets. They seem to have gotten together just about every single week. So look for them to be fighting and beating and banging here. You got the 96 of Josh Freed starting here in 9th with the 4 of Eric Stoy, rounding out tonight's top 10. And boy, oh boy, Yahtzee.
Row number 6 is going to be the 64 of Cale Tuberville in 11th and 00 Joe Bennett in 12th. Row number 7 is going to be the 13 of Earl Evans in that AAA broadcasting machine. And Cody Staten in the 15 is going to be to his outside. Row number 8 is going to be the 66 of the Chef, Matthew Jones. And the 86 of Jake Bunjo. Row number 9 is going to be the 1 of Derek Welch. And the 12 of Austin Johnson, rounding out your top 20. And row number 10, the 30 of Keith Miller, and the 5 of Stephen Naylor, our sponsor tonight for Freedom Landscaping LLC.
Row 11, the Mark Collins in 21st in the number 23 car. Outside of him, the 76 of Michael Hicks. J.A. Burton in the 26 car starts 23rd. Dusty Smith in the 21 car is 24th. Kenneth Stocks, 25th in the number 28 car. Henry Wyndham in 82 car, number 26. Brian Skidmore, 27th in the 75 car. The 97 of Rodney Griffin, starting 28th. Michael Reynolds in the 45 car, 29th. And Haas Beverly is your top 30 in the number 22 car.
Yeah, I've got Greg Turner, let's see, Zach Dillon, Andrew Hansley, Tom Barish, and Michael Newton. He might be race control. I'm not really sure. Yep, I think he is. Michael Newton, thank you so much tonight for being the race control for this HCK Beagles race.
Yes, indeed, and that is your field here tonight. Boy, that's a lot of cars. Good.
Hey, Brown, they did add another caution lap. I'm not sure if something we need to do.
Yeah, there is. There's absolutely something we need to do, and that's talk to our AdminBoxx pole sitter. And that's going to be the 51 of Joshua Moore. So let's go ahead and pull Josh on in here. Josh, this is seeming like we're going to have a weekly appointment doing this here as you get another pole position. Congratulations on that. You got some Team America not too far behind you. They're going to be ready to help you on out. But it's a long race. What do you guys got planned here?
I think we're just going to try to all stay up here and then just try to stay out of trouble, and then try not to get speeding on pit road. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But just try to stay up here and avoid wrecks.
Sounds like a plan, man. Well, good luck with it, and we'll see you guys after the race.
All right. Hope to talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir.
And that was your AdminBoxx Pole Award winner here tonight, Mr. Joshua Moore. And like I said, it's becoming a common occurrence here. That man knows how to qualify.
Cat's good for sure.
So we're going to go around and around here one more time as these drivers get ready to take to this green flag behind this pace truck right now. And I know we haven't really talked about it too much, but let's talk about that lap count here tonight. You know, kind of dependent on how the fuel strategy and fuel run works here, we could possibly see some fuel situation kind of rearing its head.
Yeah, fuel strategy has been a part of several of these races, and especially if we get some cautions involved later, you might see multiple strategies out there, guys getting on different pit cycles and stuff. That's what we like to see. Some guys doing a little bit stuff different as I think that was Cale Turberville down there taking out that blue cone once again.
Again, he learned from you on that one. I think you'll see a lot of pit strategy too when it comes to tires and fuels. So it's going to be interesting to see, how they run their pit cycles and what they do. They take tires, don't take tires, and I'm looking forward to that. That's a good part of these super speedway races is what is your pit strategy.
And as always, that pit strategy has to involve a partner. We saw it a lot last night. We saw some people have to pit off cycle, and man, it just absolutely killed them because they were out there in no man's land while everyone else was in a big old group. And it might be where you want to be when a wreck happens, so you don't get involved in it. But at the same time, that's not exactly how you want to be going a lap down.
You're so dependent on the draft. You get out of that, it's almost race over anymore unless you get a caution to catch back up.
Indeed, as the flagman and the stands are up and ready to go as the pace truck makes its way off down into pit road here, getting ready to get this green flag party started here and get this HCK Beagles race presented by Freedom Landscaping up and running. Joshua Moore, Albert Anderson, side by side, entering that Geico restart zone. And here we go. Green flag is out and waving. Green flag racing here at Talladega for the first time here tonight as we got a shakeup down and through the field. As here comes the two of Albert Anderson, who got a great jump there on that 51. He's going to be able to get the run and get down on that low line in front of that 51, so Albert Anderson immediately jumping up to the lead. That's going to open up the 6 of Paul Durkee with some help from that 42 and the 84, but here comes the 4. We know he's no stranger to running all by himself on that outside line, and this is a great time to do it. Use that side draft before the other lanes really get up and running. He's making some moves here. It looks like he's going to have some help from Hunter Smith joining him up on that outside as well as we go 3 wide racing here on lap number 1.
Hunter Smith said, "Nuh-uh, I'm taking the middle." That middle line's starting to get pretty organized. It looks like they're getting a little bit better of a run than the Team America guys down there on the inside, and Limitless down there as well with Albert Anderson.
As Paul Durkee gets launched up into the lead here with that help from Kevin Winker. So now we got Paul leading that bottom line with that 42 of Winker on that top line. 84 Josh Bittner, he's not sitting around here tonight. We normally see him maybe kind of mosey on in the back, but he is not wasting any time here tonight, pushing that 42 machine for all it's worth.
Same thing with 00 Joe Bennett. He's up 6 spots now, running that outside line. He really likes it out there.
Side by side they go, and we mentioned him a little bit earlier, that 76 of Michael Hicks. He's already up 5 or 6 spots, up to 17th here, just taking his time. He's sitting right behind that one of Derek Welch, and I know everyone says Derek Welch hates these super speedways and whatnot, but results kind of speak for themselves. He's had some pretty good results here.
Hey, Greg, even lap 2 was only 1 minute and 5 seconds. I'm sorry, that was lap 1. Lap 2 ended up being 53 seconds. They go a lot quicker once they finally get up, through the gears and get them RPMs wound all the way out.
Yeah, we're going 3 wides and slow them down a little bit too, I think. So if they keep it organized, 2 lanes, trucks right behind each other, you'll actually get a lot more speed that way. To me, it's a little early for 3 wide action. Personally, I like to kind of ride for the first 2/3 of the race and then really kind of race that last third and get a little intense.
Yeah, that's the 84 of Bittner working with that 00 of Joe Bennett. It looked like that one of Derek Welch was gonna try to jump up there and help him, but I think he's sharing your sentiment there. It might be a little too early for that 3 wide. He's gonna stay there tucked in on that high line. Also got to be careful of that 64 Cale Turberville. He's been sneaking his way on up, tucked in behind that 4 and in between the 15 as Cody Staten tries to catch on up to some of his teammates here. He does have his brother there kind of sitting right behind him as well.
Greg, where's the safe place to be if something's going to happen in front of you, especially in the turns? I mean, is it really the outside line? Because, something's going to happen, and hopefully gravity will kind of take over, and the cars or the trucks may clear by the time you get to it. Is that maybe why you see, the Track Dogs Racing.com number 84 and 00 Joe Bennett also running that outside line so high?
I don't know. I always seem to end up wherever the accident is, whether I'm running high or low. That's just my luck with super speedways. But, initial crash, everybody's probably going to go high because the truck's momentum is going to carry it high, but then gravity, of course, carry it back down the track. So it's a crapshoot no matter where you are. High is safe sometimes, low is safe sometimes. It really depends a lot on luck, I think, for me.
As we had a big shakeup there in the middle of the field, someone got kind of left alone in the very middle line. People went around him, so the turbo tunnel not in use there. Just someone ended up drifting right on back. But everyone able to keep it all together here is, man, it looks like that 84 of Bittner, he's still struggling trying to get that thing down in the line here.
I also want to thank Emily Jane Smith, Beverly Rapp, also joining us over there on YouTube. Rebecca Smith once again. Joel Moore pulling for the 51 of Joshua Moore out there, Team America. Dog Shed Honey said, let's go number 28. See who else we got up there. P Perfect 33 pulling for 00 Joe Bennett. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. He's pulling for Kevin Winker in that 42 machine. And Caitlin Sharp pulling for Chef Boyardee out there in the 66.
As this absolute wad of traffic makes its way around here at Talladega. Let's take a ride here with that 30 of Keith Miller. He's sitting there on that low line, taking his time, leaving some room, being pretty patient here. You can see that 4 of Eric Stoy on his outside there. He's been pretty aggressive using that far outside lane, but maybe trying to get things all grouped up on these guys. As you can see that back bumper of the 15 of Cody Staten. He's wanted dead or alive, preferably dead.
Damn Staten boys with them pretty awesome paints there. The 13 got a pretty awesome Halloween themed paint there. Very, very cool. Earl Evans with that Halloween paint out there.
And the sponsored, not sponsored vehicle of Earl Evans working his way on up, trying to look for some magic here tonight, up into that top 10 as Albert Anderson and Kevin Winker continue to trade places up on in front.
Everybody's staying pretty safe so far. I hadn't seen a whole lot of contact at all out there. I saw a couple of situations where we almost had a push the pusher situation. Kind of might have been because of a little bit of a checkup, but nothing became of it.
I think they're listening to me that this is the time to kind of keep it calm and run some laps down, and then wait till the end of the race to really get a little aggressive with it.
You know it's going to happen. The last few races we've seen at Talladega, the last, coming out of turn 4, going through the tri over there, was wrecking all over the track on that last lap. So I don't expect tonight's going to be much different.
Yeah, I can definitely say I have never wrecked you at Talladega for a win. In any of our races we've ever done, I don't think that's ever happened. I just don't remember if it did.
The only track you probably never wrecked me at. Yeah, you're probably right.
I might be full of it too. I'm pretty sure I wrecked you everywhere.
Probably. It's all right. Fun.
But you can never forget the moment of absolute backstabbedness that happened at Pocono between English and Turner. As we're here back on lap number 10 out of 65.
Big Donnie pulling for 64 Cale Turberville out there. Cale running that Klondike paint once again. That's been a good luck sponsor for that machine. won a few races with that paint scheme. There goes Bittner on the outside again with a huge run. Gets that big run down there on the back stretch and then just kind of peters out on him. But Double O Joe Bennett's going to go with him here once again and try to give him a little push on that outside line.
They just don't have any room to pull down right now, so they're kind of stuck out there for a little while. It's been really calm. I'm pretty sure Turner would not be happy. There's no fighting yet. There's no, cuss words thrown around.
Right. Nobody's been thrown over the fence or upside down on fire.
Yeah, just way too calm for Turner's liking.
Yeah. Enjoying his, he might even get off his blood pressure medicine if he misses enough of these plate races, He's all chilled out now. Probably doing yoga right now, meditating.
You're probably right. It's that one machine of Derek Welsh. He sees everybody coming on up on that super high side. He's going to jump on up there to try to aid them around here.
Him and the 4 and the 5 machine. Cursor is not showing up. There it is. 4 of Eric's boy and the 5 of Kevin Naylor.
Those 5 cars on the outside are making a huge run right now.
And, we've seen that before. I think we saw it last season a bunch, Kevin Winker, Eric Stroy. Those guys weren't scared to use that outside line. They knew as long as they could get grouped up like they are now, they can make up a ton of spots, and that's exactly what they're doing, launching that one all the way up to battle here for the lead as they go 3 wide here, about 6 or 7, now 9 rows deep.
Wow. How long is this going to last, boys? I don't give it more than a couple more laps before we see somebody get sideways. It's snaking around just a little bit up here.
This is when it gets exciting.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my chair.
See what the view out of that back window is for that 51 of Joshua Moore, and it is just a mob of angry and hungry trucks. As you can see, everybody's shoving a little bit of air, but leaving plenty of room. That's the nice thing about here at Talladega. Yeah, if you just keep it in between those painted lines, between the 2 lanes, until you really need to side draft somebody, you got a good enough amount of room.
That's a nice thing about Talladega compared to Atlanta. Atlanta, there just wasn't room to go 3 wide. Here, 3 wide, you can run laps that way as long as everybody watches themselves.
Like rush hour traffic down there at the 10-12 split around Baton Rouge. Nothing but cars as far as you can see.
Man, I do got to give these guys credit, though. They're staying pretty well grouped up. There's a little bit of a space between the 64 and the 6 right now. They're kind of in that middle of those 2 lines. But otherwise, the pushers haven't really left the back bumpers of the lead cars in each of the lane. And the people in the 3rd row there, they're staying off just enough to make sure they don't get any incidents. As the 51 goes down, shuts the door on the 2. He's going to go down all the way to the apron. The 2 is stuck as we're 4 wide, and there goes the wreck.
Derek Welch around, the 2 up in the wall. Somebody, the 28 just died. That was the 28. He's dead.
Yeah, it's going to need a tow.
Oh, the ambulance for Kenneth Stocks. I'm sorry, with a S. Somebody got in the fence too, real bad at the beginning of that deal.
It looked pretty for a while, but you couldn't hold that all day long.
Gave it a couple more laps.
Oh, as you can see, what happened here with that 28 of Kenneth Stocks, he thought he was just about clear, but the one machine just kept on coming and coming. Somebody got launched up high into the sky. Wow. Man, oh man,
who went to space there?
Yeah, this is going to take more than one replay to kind of see what happened here. What caused it was that kind of stuff going on up at the front. And Joshua Moore trying to rejoin the track. Oh, who was that? Didn't get a number. Get a number. We got to go frame by frame here. Oh, it was the 4 of Eric Stoy just getting absolutely barrel rolled launch. Tom Cruise would be happy about that maneuver as Helter Skelter breaks on out. The 2 goes up into the fence. The 1 gets spun around. You got the 12 trying to just slice and dice his way on through. The 64 gets all spun around. So we're going to have a lot of fast repairs being taken here on this caution.
The good news is they have 2 of them.
Oh, Earl Evans and Cody Staten both black flagged, as well as 00 Joe Bennett. Ryan Skidmore with a black flag. I think some of those were for passing under yellow, even though there was a car that maybe was incapacitated. I think that's what a couple of those were for.
I think you may be right,
Yep.
as the 51 Joshua Moore gets the jump off of pit road there, followed by Kevin Winker and Mike Adamson, Zach Dillon, Josh Bittner, all making it through that wreck, as well as that 6 of Paul Durkee, 64 Cale Turbeville, and the 88 of Zach Staten. But to answer your question there, Mr. Perfect 33, that was the 4 of Eric Stoy, who decided to just instantaneously join the Space Force here tonight.
They went ahead and cleared everybody's black flags out there because
Yeah, I think we're going to have a scoring issue here, because Zach Dillon is scored as the leader. Problem is, he just got a wave around. So, got a feeling they might have him the next time they make it around the track. They got to come on down. Yeah, come on down pit lane and just not leave it until the field goes around him here. But nonetheless, our grading order is lining on up here as we were approaching we were fairly close to starting to maybe see some green flag pit stops there, probably about 5 to 10 laps, and of course, being 3 wide, that was not going to be conducive to people trying to make it on down there.
yeah, they went ahead and gave Albert Anderson an EOL, pinpointing him as the main cause of that accident. Zach Dillon's microphone. I think they're trying to get him to. Yeah, they're trying to figure that deal out there, Alan. He's gonna have to come down and do a pass through. That's the only way, I think, that it's gonna fix the scoring here. Because if he just stops on the backstretch like he's wanting to do and let everybody around, they're gonna have to clear everybody's black flags that's passing them, which I guess they can do. There's some radio chatter right now between race control and the driver of the 51. About rejoining the traffic up on the track from the apron.
Yeah, there's no good way to do that when you're in the middle of 3 wide like that.
Well, while they're getting all this sorted out, let's talk about tonight's race sponsor, Freedom Landscaping, LLC. they're over there in North Carolina. Stephen Naylor and his wife run that business out there. Great reviews over there on Facebook. I'll drop a link. If you guys are in that area out there, you're looking for lawn professionals. I mean, professional people. This ain't your neighbor kid with a push mower. It's a veteran-owned business, and they take a lot of pride in what they do. So definitely go check them out. That Facebook post I just put out there. The YouTube chat. Give them a follow. You know, that helps them get their name out there a little bit more too. If they got some followers on Facebook, I just give them a follow as well.
I wish they were closer to me because I'm tired of mowing an acre. I think it's boring.
Yeah.
It's been way too hot.
Oh, of that, I'm sure. And, you know, as most good companies come from, they were built from the ground up, you know, just kind of started off with a few lawns here and there, and now they are, you know, they find themselves as this big company as we finally have those lights on that pace car turn off, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. I don't know why the 28 is going to be up inside the 51 here. That's kind of confusing me a little bit.
They do lane choice?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the 51's on that.
But I would wonder why the 51 would want the outside, especially when his teammate Kevin Winker is down there on the inside.
That is very strange.
You know, somebody doesn't want that blue cone.
Earl Evans taking out the cone in that jack-o'-lantern machine.
Oh, that's gonna annoy Mr. Mr. Turboville.
He's hitting it so KO can't hit.
Well, nonetheless, we head on down the back straightaway here, getting ready to take back to this green flag. We'll be going green here on lap number 19 out of 65 here tonight, with this first caution coming out there right around lap 15 or so. Now, based on what we see, you know, it was really just some aggressive moves up at the front that kind of caused that caution. I think these guys were feeling pretty comfortable running 3 wide there until that moment.
Yeah, and it's just a case of, you know, guys pushing aggressive and stuff like that. There really wasn't anything the 51 could really do once he got bumped and went down on the apron, and, you know, he tried to rejoin safely, and the 2 tried to dodge him, and 2 ended up getting a EOL out of the deal. But yeah, man, stuff happens. It's plate racing. Let's get back to it.
Yes, sir, indeed, as this field trundles its way on down through this tri-oval and down and ready to take this green flag once again here at Talladega. Great start there from the inside cars. Kenneth Stocks, Kevin Winker, and Zach Staten all working together as this field mumbles its way on down into turns 1 and 2. Everything kind of getting all spread out here. Looks like here comes Kevin Winker in that 42. I think that might have been the plan from the get-go. Get that 42 out in front. Here comes the 54, though. He's not wasting any time. He's going to make use of that turbo tunnel, and look at the ground that he's making up.
Almost 4 wide there for a split second as he utilizes the side draft on the upper and lower lines to just make all kinds of moves.
As Kenneth Stocks drops on down to the apron, not liking what he was seeing there, as the 54 of Mike Adamson splitting this field like Moses did the Red Sea. Finds his way up to the front of that bottom line, but here comes that 6 of Paul Durkee. He was getting all excited from leading a few laps here, side by side, beating and banging. He's got the 00 Joe Bennett to his outside as we go back to 3 wide racing here.
Oh, that's the 20 of Zach Dillon bouncing across the grass on the infield. The yellow's out. That number 20 Dubby machine went on a little ride.
The run of caution gives anybody pit here to top off their fuel tanks and maybe try
Might
to.
as well. I think I would. You're right here at, you know, not quite 1/3 of the way.
a good time to do it, and you don't worry about going to the back because it's super speedway racing. It's really easy to get back over to the front usually.
Ooh, that 20 machine, he had a little bit of help going around here, and it was the 5 of Steven Naylor. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was just a coincidental contact here. But they get all together. Oh, the 5? Just a little move up there on the 5. Like I said, I wasn't on purpose. A nice little jump there from the 20 machine of Zach Dillon, able to land it on all 4s and keep on rolling. Looked like Josh Freed also had an issue there, as the rally train heads on through the backyard of Mr. English.
Yeah, I think that Steven Naylor probably just turned him around like that and sent him down to the grass to see if he could cut grass. To maybe give the man a job. Maybe that's what he was doing. He was giving him a little trial run.
I don't think that's the situation, but you know what? I like it. We'll run with it. As Mike Adamson is going to have control of this next restart, depending on if people decide to come on down, like you said, and maybe top up on fuel. It looked like everybody had come on down the last time. As we may not see anybody come on down here this time, so let's go ahead and maybe talk to somebody here. Who should we talk to that we don't talk to that much? As Durkee, Wyndham, and more all come on down into pit lane. Keith Miller, Michael Reynolds as well.
Hensley's in his box.
Brian Skidmore making that dive on down. Same thing with Mark Collins, Zach Dillon. I'm seeing a lot more people that were kind of towards the tail end of this thing drift on down into pit lane there. I think they realize I don't need to be worrying about making up spots or anything like that, so they're just getting topped up on that fuel.
The good news is there's enough of them there, so if they have to pit again later under green, there's enough people to keep the draft going.
Getting a big draft group like that, it's a necessity. That's what it is.
And how about let's talk to that 66 machine of Matthew Jones, Chef Boyardee, as I don't think we've really talked to him that much, and he's up there kind of towards the top 15. And so let's part of that Hensley Motorsport group. Let's pull him up into the broadcaster channel. Mr. Matthew Jones joining us in that 66 machine, the Rust Bucket. He's doing pretty good job here tonight there, Matt. Up almost into the top 15 here. Looks like you guys have a pretty solid run with your teammate there of Hensley.
Yeah, we're a new team, so we're just trying to get up in there and just give Team America a run for their money. I had a little mess up on start, messing with the dog, missed the started in the back. Luckily, that caution came out, gave me a lucky dog, and now I'm just back up here trying to run my race.
Well, good luck out to you there, Chef. Hopefully you can get back with your teammate, the 24 Hensley. It looks like he just went down pit road and hit his box, so maybe you can find some help out there.
I hope so. We're going to give these guys a run for our money, show what the team's about, and just run a good race.
Awesome, man. Well, we look forward to it, and good luck the remainder of this race.
No problem. Thank you so much, guys.
The 60.
It looks like a junkyard truck, doesn't it?
Yeah. Got a nickname. Like I said, nickname it the Rust Bucket. Doing a pretty good work out there. And you know what? That's the beauty of having, software like trading paints and people that, spend the time to actually create paints like that. Is, man, that thing looks pretty dang good.
Creativity that a lot of these guys show when they paint these vehicles, it's neat to see.
Need more chrome. We're missing chrome out there.
Can you make rust chrome? That's a great
Well,
question.
I know you can make rust chrome. Yes, you can, because it comes off. It flakes off and it rusts underneath. Corbin Rogers joining us over there on YouTube, saying, "Let's go, Hunter Smith." Hunter Smith's got him a pretty good fan club out there for that number 3 machine. back there. Oh, Cale Turbeville telling Earl Evans, hey, that's my cone.
Yeah, well, today it was this one. It was the 21 of Dusty Smith, up 18 spots. He's up there just outside the top 5 right now. He's one of those guys that will sneak up on you here towards the ends of these races, gets his name up in that mix.
Casey Jones saying, let's go, Chef. He said, my girl said, look, Daddy, there's Uncle Matt. Dad, he's on TV. That's awesome, man. Adam Strom joining us too, saying, evening, fellas. I tell you, it doesn't get much better than trucks at Dega. Always enjoy watching this race. We do too, man. It's one of our favorites.
Oh, yeah, no. This, Daytona, Michigan, Vegas as of recently, we've seen some good races. Man, just these trucks are just all around good racing in general. I don't think we see too many bad truck races. One of these days, though, they gotta try to maybe do some heat racing down at Eldora, just see who could actually cut their teeth. I think the 64 Cale Turbeville might be the ringer on that front, as the pace car makes its way down onto pit lane here. The 54 of Mike Adamson with the 42 of Kevin Winker side by side as they make their way through the tri-oval into that Geico restart zone. And here we go. Green flag racing once again here from Talladega. Great restart there from that 54. The problem is maybe a little too good. And same thing with the 42, not much help. It looks like the bottom line is going to get to that 54 machine just a little bit quicker. Oh, and it's Double O Joe all by himself basically catching on up to him. That's going to allow that 42 of Winker to jump on down to that bottom lane. The 21 of Dusty Smith leaving plenty of space as here comes the Double O Joe with the 42. Look at the run that they've got coming up on that outside line.
Aggression right here and smack in the middle of the race here.
Oh,
we're not even to halfway yet.
As Earl Evans wanted to drift down to that bottom line, but that door had been shut. He's going to be stuck there behind that Double O machine, trying to get him all pushed back on around. We have some people on that far outside lane trying to make up some ground here, like that 3 of Hunter Smith. You also, I think you got Austin Johnson jumping up into that mix as well, right around in the kind of midfield of this thing. Looks like that could be the 76 of Michael Hicks out there on that far outside trying to help that 3 machine.
Here comes 84 right behind the 66 of Jones, making it 3 wide with Hunter Smith and that 55 Gulf Coast Sand machine.
You guys better spread out in the back. We're going to start to pack back up again, so it's time to get racing.
Oh, as we had some bobbing and weaving happening in the midfield around where Albert Anderson was there, and Cale Turbeville and Kenneth Stocks all kind of getting a little loosey-goosey, little space, but that space has now been closed here once again as these guys come back down and across the line, still side by side up here at the front. Kevin Winker on the low line, got the Double O Joe up on the high side by side, beating and banging, racing action.
Officer Love joining us once again over there on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming back. Officer Love loves that classic number 24 paint scheme that Jeff Gordon paint scheme on Andrew Hansley's truck. Got a lot of cool paints out here. Some of them are all who we got out there? There's Taylor Motor Company on a bunch of these trucks' hoods out there. Love seeing the small businesses get involved. Getting their names and stuff on these trucks out here for some virtual racing. We love it.
As the 2 pushes the 84 of Josh Bittner, trying to get them on up to the front of this field. All teammates in that Limitless Motorsports crew. They have the 54 Mike Adamson up there and kind of sitting behind Kevin Winker on that low line way up front. Oh, as we got a car scraping the outside wall a little bit there.
That looked like the 82. I'm not sure. Let me go back and look.
Oh, no, just to push the pusher up at the front, and that's
Track.
going to cause a absolute pileup. Trucks flipping and flying.
Andrew Wyndham in the 82. That's who was scraping the wall. But good night. What happened? Here's another bump. Is that between the 84 and the 2?
Oh,
Those guys are buddies, you know. You wouldn't think anything intentional between them guys.
I just think it was a bump gone wrong. Got
What
the
a
trucks
horrendous
early.
crash.
And
let's go ahead and take a view from our hashtag not sponsored chopper camera here tonight. Just kind of see it looks like the bumpers just weren't aligned there as the bump happened. The 2 tried his best to get everything all squared back on up, but just a little too late. I think the 84 wanted to drift down to jump into that middle line, but that bump from the 2 came at a wrong point, snagging the 42 and the 00 and the 54. Oh man, Team Limitless taking a big hit here tonight as the 3, I don't know what causes the 3 to spin around here. He gets a little bit of contact there from Earl Evans, and you can just see the absolute pileup happen. Everybody getting snagged up into that one.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee getting involved in that one too. Matthew Jones up there up against the wall kind of with 2 wheels on it, riding it for a while. Hansley doesn't look like he has a whole lot of damage from that.
question now is how many trucks are using their second fast repair already.
Oh, I know. And, I was looking back through that wreck to see really who made it through it unscathed, and the answer was nobody.
Nobody.
That was one of the most complete wrecks that I think we've seen here in quite a while over here at HCK Beagles Racing, as the leaders come on down into pit lane, topping up on fuel, taking some tire, getting some damaged fixed, as we're quickly approaching kind of the halfway point through this race.
Always fun when the wreck happens right at the front of the field. It usually gets bad in a hurry.
Gets bad for a lot of people really quick. Let's see if we had any DQs yet. It doesn't look like it. A lot of meatball flags out there for some of these guys. That's something you want to see waving as you're trying to get down to the pit lane.
Yeah, that was just one of those wrecks. Like it's gonna happen, and it's usually it is the teammates that it kind of happens to, because they're willing to maybe push a little bit harder there, and that's just what happened. The 84 and the 2 bumpers just weren't quite lined up, and boom, just absolute track blockage. As we go around behind this pace car here once again, just kind of riding around, taking things calm, taking things smooth here, approaching that halfway point. Hunter Smith still down there in the pits. Same thing with that 4 of Eric Stoy and the 76 of Michael Hicks. It looks like Eric Stoy is going to be making his way on out here in just a second. Adamson, Jones, and Hansley all coming on, still staying in that pit lane here. Looks like Josh Freed, due to maybe some connection issues, currently not out there on the track as well.
Andrew Hansley giving us an update over on YouTube saying, he said, I had to tow and apparently my truck was leaking fluid. Then I missed my pit box, and then the engine blew up trying to get back around to his pit. Man, he probably had to burn a tow then, and that burns up so much time waiting on that tow. Was it about a 4-minute tow here, guys? Greg? Sound about right on it?
3.5, I think.
3.5? Golly.
Either way, it feels like eternity. Just sitting there waiting for your vehicle to get all fixed up and whatnot. As the lights on the pace car turn off, we're going to go back to some green flag racing with a kind of a French bulldog nose here, with the 28 of Kenneth Stocks squished in just a little bit. Hopefully that's not going to affect him too much. Going to have the 88 of Zach Staten on his outside. The 51 Joshua Moore is going to restart here in third with the 82 Henry Wyndham up on that outside lane. The 45 of Michael Grenald's up 24 spots as well. Going to be starting inside this top 5. Derek Welsh back on up there. Tom Barish in the 55 machine up 26 spots. It's going to be starting in this top 10 here once again as well.
Hey, spoiler alert. That damage on the 28 is definitely going to affect him. He is the lead truck out there, in that clean air. 28 needs to have immaculate aerodynamics to make that inside line work. That damage is really going to hurt the 28 of stocks.
See there, it's just squished in just enough that it is going to definitely affect it. Not only that, but you're gonna have to get worried here, because that 28 machine, he's just gonna end up falling back, and his only hope is really to tuck into the draft with somebody. But he's gonna possibly have some overheating issues now.
It is possible if the 88 decides jump down, maybe. He may tuck him behind him, or even the 45. Look at Michael Grenald's up there in 4th place. What a run for him tonight! Him and Henry Wyndham in the 82.
You are not kidding. As the truck makes its way down onto pit road here, and as always, since we're about halfway through this race, we're starting to get a little tired of talking, so we'll let these trucks do the talking for us, and let's go ahead and send it on down to crank it on up. And that Crank It Up segment brought to you by TrackDogsRacing.com. For all your merchandising needs, go ahead and reach on out to them, as well as buy some fantabulous HCK Beagles Racing products, as we have a big shuffle happening on up in front. The 4 of Eric Stoy has been making some moves. That 28 trying his best to stay inside this draft. He's pushing the 88 for all it's worth. He's getting pretty squirrely out there, finally able to try to get that thing all settled down.
That was darn near another big wreck there.
Making me nervous.
Well, I'm like you. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm not even driving. This is exciting.
Is the
42 all the way up, almost snagging the wall there.
Yeah, he's got some help from the 20 and the 21. Both guys trying to make their way on up there. Same thing with Matthew Jones in that 66. He is a lap down, but he has control of that lucky dog spot as of right now. He does have the 5 of Steven Naylor, though, kind of in close contention for that.
Cool to see Dusty Smith up there working with a teammate who Zach Dillon's actually a lap down that 20 car. Trying to get it back the hard way here. They work together to try to push Kevin Winker to the front.
Yeah, that they do. So it's actually Zach Dillon who's kind of... Oh, as we're wrecking behind him.
Another wreck.
Did they save it? Where's the carnage?
There's some damage, but it was just the 2 of them, and they got back going again. So
I heard the race admin saying we're not going to throw a caution. So
green flag racing they go with the 4 of Eric Stoy jumping on down in front of the 88. Oh my goodness!
Wow, what a move!
That was bold, as they would say, making his way on down. Oh, there's gonna be the big one.
There's the 20 around. Dillon. Probably trying to dodge him out there.
Kind of see what happened here. Oh, it looks like the 20 just got sucked up into that outside wall. Oh, it got kind of spun around there on the 21, and he goes for a wild ride, trying to get it going. It looked like he almost had it at one point back straight, just couldn't quite keep the foot down there. And around and around he goes. That 20 machine. Looks like everybody else kind of did make it through, though.
Paul Durkee took a heck of a shot. In fact, his truck kind of jumped up in the air after that hit from the 20.
Oh, it did. And it was a pinball effect. I think the thing that saved him was hitting the car down low on him.
It kept him straight, didn't it?
That's the 30 machine helping keeping him straight. And the 30 machine did a pretty good job keeping that thing going.
Keith Miller's pretty good driver. He's got pretty good hands out there. We've seen that number 30 Yellowstone truck do pretty well out here, and he just kept his wits about him, it looked like, and that thing straight.
As we are now just a little bit after halfway, do you think we're going to see these guys come on down for some fuel here? We're just inside of that 30 lap mark, and it's starting to get pretty close on that fuel window.
When did these guys last pit?
Last pitted on lap 28, so roughly 10 laps ago.
I'm going to stay out. I'm going to do the opposite here. I'm going to stay out.
Well,
just to gain a bunch of track position. I think we're going to see another yellow before too much time goes by. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to stay out here.
there's a few that went with your strategy, and a lot went down pit road.
What say you, Greg? What would you do there?
Me personally, I'd probably pit. That's the reason why I don't win many of these things. So,
hey, I've won a couple or finished very well in a couple of races on pit strategy.
Yeah.
Doesn't outweigh all the times I ran out of gas or crashed out.
And I would say I would probably pit as well. So, Mr. English, you are voted off the island. Thank you for playing Survivor.
All right, see you guys later. See y'all tomorrow.
But either way, staying on out, there is the 88 of Zach Staten. He's going to get the lead on this restart. That 28 of Kenneth Stocks.
Why didn't he pit?
I'm very surprised. He might be down to his final fast repair and must think it's not bad enough that he needs it quite yet. So he's going to be starting up front on that second row outside.
He hadn't gotten fuel since lap 19. See, I don't see him making it very much longer before he's got to come down.
And this would be the perfect time. There's not that much damage. They could probably beat a lot of that out without using a fast repair.
Probably could.
Well, we didn't get to talk to him last night with his second place finish, but how about let's talk to that 23 machine of Mr. Mark Collins. Let me find his name here, part of that Numb Thumbs Racing League team. Let's go ahead and talk to him, the 23 of Mark Collins, a guy we weren't able to talk to last night, but had a heck of a finish in those super new next gen cars. Mark, things are looking pretty interesting here tonight. We've seen a few wrecks. We've seen some good beating and banging racing action out here, and you're down there in 20th right now. Looks like some of your nearest teammates is kind of Tom Barish down there behind you and Derek Welsh up there in front of you. Do you guys have a plan to try to maybe group back on together?
My plan is to hang out here at the back until they get done wrecking and then try to go to the front. My teammates are trying to stay up front themselves, but I've had just bad luck in this league, so I'm trying to keep it together for the finish and actually finish the race.
That's the Alan English and Adam Turner guide to super speedway racing. There is just, I'm just going to hang out in kind of the rear of the lead pack or stay on the lead lap and just watch everybody else wreck and make a bunch of attrition positions. But you don't give yourself enough credit, man. You had one heck of a race last night. It was hard fought. There's some differences, though, with this truck, isn't there?
Yeah, they're not in day different. This thing, I mean, you can actually push people. Those next gens, you can push people too, but it's, I don't know. The next gen were getting loose once the tires were starting to wear out. These things, you hardly ever get loose in these things.
Well, man, things are starting to get all stacked back up, ready to go back to green flag racing here. Before we let you go, just kind of want to know if you're willing to maybe dispel some fuel strategy kind of going on here. It looks like it might be a little close here. Do you think you guys are going to make it?
You can save a little. I think you can make it to the end, but I don't see it going green.
Alrighty, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll see you on later here.
All right, thank you.
Yahtzee, I'm with him on the not seeing it go green the whole way. That's for sure.
Yeah, that indeed, as that pace truck leads this field on around. Let's get this poll question up and running. And it's going to be the same one as last night. Will we see a green-white checkered finish here tonight as well? We saw a great one last night. It only took the one attempt. Starting to kind of close in. We're about 26 or so laps away from putting this one to the end, as that pace truck does make its way on down into pit lane.
I got my vote in on that one. We're going to say green-white checker.
Yeah, get those votes on in, everybody, as here they come through the tri-oval once again into that Geico restart zone. Zach Staten has that 42 of Kevin Winker, a teammate sitting right behind him, and great restart there for that tandem. They're able to stay nose to tail as this field heads on down across the line into turns 1 and 2. That 28 machine with absolutely no help, just kind of maybe politely asked to have that truck behind him there, the 51 of Joshua Moore, keep that door open for him as he drifts on down into that bottom lane. The 51's going to pop on out right behind that 00 of Joe Bennett, as here comes Jay Burton in that 26 Koa machine. He's going to drift on down into that bottom line, try to lead a few laps.
That was a good restart, good and clean, so
yeah, that
no
it was.
Yet.
Yeah, but I mean, most importantly, that 28 at Kenneth Stocks, yeah, he's losing spots, but he's able to at least keep it up in that draft. Looks like he's able to maybe modulate that throttle just a little bit to maybe save a little bit of fuel here, but he does have to be careful. He's leaving some big gaps to the traffic in front of him.
Yeah, as long as he got the truck behind him, I think he'll be okay. He just not going to be good as a lead truck. Just front end damage to the lead truck does not work.
Well,
Paul Ferdiani out there joining us on YouTube saying, let's go 00 Joe. Linda out there saying, go Josh in the 51. Josh Moore's got some fans out there too, don't he?
indeed, as here comes 00 Joe up on the outside trying to get that run on Jay Burton. Jay with just enough of that run with some help from one of those Staten boys. giving him a big old push from behind. Very surprising to see that 51 of Joshua Moore hasn't tried to figure out a way to drop down between his two teammates there. But again, this could be their game plan, is if the 51 can find its way up into the front, you know, Team America could figure out a way to jump up to the lead on that inside line. They could start controlling both lines here.
That 97 of Rodney Griffin out here was running 3 wide with a couple of cats back here. He's kind of settled in right there behind the one machine. He's got a teammate behind him there. Taylor Motor Company Chevrolet. Well, it's a Chevrolet and a Ford working together right there. Dominating that inside line, just kind of out there cruising around.
And with 25 laps left here remaining, we've got a car down there on the apron, just, I think, trying to stay out of the way of this massive pack of
Reynolds.
Yeah, this absolutely massive pack of traffic here. As here comes the 42. He's going to try to make use of some of that turbo tunnel speed.
Ooh, he kind of changed his mind there for a second. Oh, no, he's going to split the Staten boys. These are his teammates. He's really trying that turbo
we're going to be 4 wide. Oh, man, this is going to be tight. Still 4 wide as they're going to shove it on down into turn 3 and 4. Finally able to figure it on out. And, man, turbo tunnel ignition switch is on.
That ain't over with up there. I guarantee you.
Unfortunately,
I'm glad they got it sorted out before they got to the corner. You cannot go 4 wide in the corner here.
No, but with that big move, though, that 51 of Joshua Moore, he took a pretty big hit position-wise, drifting on back. He's still kind of stuck on that outside line. He does have some help from that one of Derek Welsh, but they got a lot of work here left to do. But again, that's what we allude to when we talk about that turbo tunnel. It's not when you get kind of forced there in the middle, but if you choose and that window is open, you can basically double your draft that you're picking up here from the side draft between both lanes, and man, you just launch yourself up through the field.
Paul Ferdiani mentioned it on YouTube. He said, good to see those OG plus EV racing trucks near the front there, talking about the 82 of Henry Wyndham and I think the 45 of Reynolds. I think he was the one you saw dive down. Wow, these guys are still 3 wide up here, and now they're 3 deep.
That they are, but even, man, I think I know what Team America is trying to do here. And if the 42 of Kevin Winker can somehow leapfrog that 00 of Joe Bennett, you could have 3 lanes of control from Team America here.
Those guys have been so good at that, getting teammates on all the lines. Most of the time it's only 2 lines, but these guys stretching themselves thin to accommodate all 3 lines here that they're able to run with these trucks here at Talladega. Talladega's so wide. I don't see you doing this at Daytona for very long.
No, those walls tend to sneak up on you here as we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 3 wide racing going on here. We got a little bit of an ebb and flow on that far outside line, but they're really trying to get the work done here, trying to inch their way up on forward.
Bruce Muehlberger liking our video over there on the Facebook page. Thank you so much, Bruce. He's got his company on a couple of these trucks out here, Muehlberger Custom Homes.
And one of the original sponsors over here at HCK Beagles Racing League, as we ride around with that 21 of Dusty Smith, kind of sitting kind of towards the back of that wad of absolute mayhem in front of him. You can see the 66 machine there in front of him as well, trying to maybe try to put a few more laps down here again before really making a big push to the end as we're approaching 20 laps to go.
84's got a pretty good view from his windshield on what's going on up here in front of him. He sees nothing but 3 wide.
At 20 laps to go, to me, this is the time to start really racing 3, 4 wide and Try to make your way to the front.
It's aggression time, eh?
Yes.
And as you say that, here comes that far outside line, the 51 leading that charge with the 15 down low and the 00 all the way at the bottom. We got a bunch of trucks here all in it for a chance to win it. The top 10 all separated by, I would say, within 1/10 of a second each other as these guys continue to put laps down here at Talladega, heading through this tri-oval once again, getting down to the teens, left to go.
Hello, Joe Bennett out there leading this thing. Just talked to him the other night. We may get to talk to him again tonight. Let's see.
I got the 55 of Tom Barish up 18 spots right now in a pretty good spot. He's back there in 15th. He's got plenty of room to kind of make some changes on which row he wants to be on, as here comes that 51 right on down from the top to the bottom. He's going to try to maybe squeeze the door on that 00, but the 00 is going to squeeze on up and go into that middle line here. So bobbing and weaving, chess play in action here.
Seems like they've really fixed a lot of the netcode issues we were seeing with these trucks. I know we were seeing them more at like iRacing Super Speedway and a couple other tracks, Daytona and Talladega, not so bad, but I don't think we've seen any netcode tonight, and these guys have been close.
Yes, indeed. As with 9 votes in, we have 77% of you saying we will see a green-white checker. As man, oh man, look at that run that the 51's got. The 42 found his way to that back bumper as we go 3 wide racing behind him. It looks like J.A. Burton still sticking to that inside row.
Check out Wyndham, and then he's got the 75 of Brian Skidmore right in front of him. He's another one of those guys that he sneaks up there. And he's having a heck of a race up there in that Taylor Motor Company Toyota. Oh, Wyndham's going to move up to the outside line in front of 00 Joe Bennett and the one of Derek Welch. Check out the Limitless team trying to get reorganized here. We got the 54 of Adamson right there in that middle line. He's going to start pushing Skidmore here. Let's see if he can get up there.
Yes, sir, indeed. As these guys go beating and banging, racing 3 wide here up at the front. The 82 machine of Henry Wyndham with that help from the 1 and the 00, really trying to get that run on going on up. Looks like the 84 Josh Bittner is kind of in the same boat as the 28 is. He's got some front end damage there a little bit.
Yeah, he's got his front end's caved in pretty bad on that Ford. Paul Fardiani telling us on YouTube there, he says Henry Wyndham's got some skills. And you know what? He's got even more than that. He's got patience. Whenever we see that 82 plus EV motorsports machine out there, he's being very patient. He holds a great line. The guy can hold a line like nobody's business. But he just gets in a bind sometimes and can't do anything with it. But, yeah, very patient driver, very skilled driver. He's got a pretty good pusher behind him in the 00 Joe Bennett there.
Well, it's the same thing here with the 75 of Brian Skidmore. He's one that you definitely don't want to shake your head at. He can sneak his way on up 24 spots right now, hanging around with these leaders. He's got a pretty good pusher there behind him as well in that 54 of Mike Adamson, who is a lap down and fighting for that lucky dog spot.
Earl Evans and Chef Boyardee back here side by side on the middle and outside lanes. Chef Boyardee working his way up from a bad wreck. Is he on lead lap?
He is not. He is 1 lap down.
Okay.
He's trying to get around that truck that's immediately in front of him, that 54.
I got you. They're battling for a lucky dog. I got you. That 26 KOA campground. J.A. Burton, I love that paint. We saw that paint here a couple of races ago, and he's kept it. That is pretty cool. Go camping. Paint. The 23 of Mark Collins, he's still running that paint we saw, or running a similar paint that we saw last night. They had a childhood cancer awareness race last night. Of course, one of their buddies who runs DEP Graphics has a child that with cancer and is not doing well. So any positive vibes and thoughts and prayers you can send over there to DEP Graphics and really to all the people that have kids that are suffering with cancer right now. It's a terrible thing. Oh, 26 kind of getting forced down below the yellow line there. I don't know if the 66 kind of got in his personal space there or what happened.
Oh, as we got some trucks very close to that outside wall. Man, it looks like Brian Skidmore making the move down low into the middle lane as the 51 of Joshua Moore having a little bit of connection issue, trying to lead this whole group around.
This is definitely not where you want to have a truck blinking.
Yeah.
There's
That's
nothing more scary.
I'm scared. Look at the run from the 86.
Oh.
Another driver we hadn't talked about a whole lot tonight, Jake Bunjo.
Got some bumping and banging. They held it.
They held it.
They're dodging. The 81 of or the 88 of Zach Staten on the apron, trying to avoid something that he thought might be coming.
Well, it was coming. They just avoided it.
What a save.
The Grim Reaper of Rex was reaching on out, and these drivers said, no way. We were wrecking here now with 12 laps to go as these guys continue to put laps down. Looks like here comes some lap traffic here. The 28 finally able to get on down into pit road there. Looks like his nose is all fixed on up. But here comes that Double O Joe with the 1 up on the outside. They need a little bit more help if they really want this run to stick, though.
So now's the time to really start making your moves and making your plans coming up on 10 to go. Officer Love out there saying, let's go. Let's see if that number 1 of Welch can get a top 10 at least tonight. And Rebecca Smith saying, let's go Skid. Skidmore out there.
It's definitely time for some aggression. It's time for some hard bump drafting. It's time to get moving.
That it is, as Rodney Griffin and Jake Bunjo behind this 2 wide action are thinking of the same thing, all just inside this kind of top 10 right now. They're one of those guys that in these later laps, be sure to look for them, as they are very aggressive drivers out here making smart moves. Albert Anderson still kind of stuck in this kind of chase line here way in the back. Michael Grendel's way off the field as well. 64, Cale Turbeville back here in 21st. He really needs to make up some ground, as we're going to have some takers coming on down into pit road here. Not being able to make it on fuel. Brian Skidmore, Kevin Winker, Joshua Moore, Cody Staten, Earl Evans, Jay Burton, Zach Staten, Rodney Griffin, Henry Wyndham, Jake Bunjo, and a whole bunch of others all coming on down. That's going to leave 3 wide out here with Double O, Joe Bennett, Derek Welsh, Josh Bittner, and I think Mark Collins as well, trying to make up some ground here, as the 1 continues to push that Double O machine on around as they get around some other lap traffic here. So it looks like, since it did kind of go green kind of towards the end here, these guys realizing they weren't going to make it and making that decision to pit now, which I think is a pretty good decision. You at least have a few laps to try to make up some ground.
Yeah, and if you do get a green-white checker, keep in mind you're going to burn a little bit more gas, especially once you get restarted and you're running up through the gears. As
Josh Bittner, there's Austin Johnson as well coming on into pit lane. Cale Turbeville, Greg Turner, Little Rimmer, and Keith Miller all making that dive down onto pit lane as well. As here comes Eric Stoy, Paul Durkee, and Mark Collins. Due to the amount of pit stops, that 2-car tandem of Double O Joe, things got kind of slowed up just a little bit. allowing that 4 machine to come on here with a big head of steam with that 6 machine in tow.
Couple of them beer cars got a pretty good run there with the 21 of Dusty Smith behind them. Let's see if they can close that gap a little bit. It sounds like, yep, here comes some more guys coming down pit road. Your leaders here, 00 Joe Bennett, the one of Welch. As well as the rest of the Numb Thumbs drivers.
Locking it on up was 00 Joe, but able to keep that thing straight and not mow any grass here in this Freedom Landscaping 175. Eric Stoy, your leader, with Paul Durkee and Steven Naylor all up inside this kind of lead group. Also have some lap traffic here. Looks like the 21 and the 66. Dusty Smith and Matthew Jones, both drivers fighting for a lucky dog spot here. Dusty Smith currently in that lead spot, ideally for Matthew Jones here, and this is kind of smart of him. If he can push that 21 machine back around the 4 here, as here comes that 4 on down into pit lane with the 6 and the 5. So everybody realizing they weren't gonna make it here tonight, coming on down into pit lane.
Look, this is going to cycle all the Numb Thumbs guys. Well, no, I take that back, because there is going to be a couple other trucks out there, up there. But they all pitted together, and they came out of the pits together. They all did fuel only. The Numb Thumbs gaming team really sticking together out there. Parrish, Collins, Bennett, and Welch.
As here comes the 51 and the 42 tandem racing here at Talladega. Man, we haven't seen this in dang near 18 years, as those guys work together to try to get back around Paul Durkee and Eric Stoy, who are just rejoining the racetrack here. They're not going to be quite up to speed, so this is going to be interesting as everybody kind of comes all looped back on around. Derek Welch and 00 Joe Bennett trying to work together here as well, trying to get all that party all group back on up. But here comes that 55, and boy, does he have some company behind him. Good golly.
Oh, contact between the 12 and the 75, but they keep it straight.
And the 69 of Little Rimmer in that pack as well. These guys have the numbers. The question is, can they stay together enough, as we got beating and banging 3-wide action up here between the tandem sets. The 6 and the 4, the 51, the 42, and the 1 and the 00. Everybody, all men for themselves here, as the 51 gets left alone in the middle line here, as he's going to finally find a way to get tucked in behind his teammate. There's the 42 of Winker, able to regain that draft.
'24 Hansley on the backstretch apron, letting everybody by there.
We're down to 5 to go, so if you're going to make any moves, now's the time to do it.
Yes, sir, indeed, as that chase pack, led by the 55 of Tom Barish, up 26 spots as it stands in 7th right now, trying to make up a second and a half on that group of cars in front of him. As we got teammates all working together. Earl Evans sets the fastest lap of the race at 52.08 here in the closing stages.
Good lap, Earl. Well, Paul Ferdiani says if these guys, these 4 stay up front, and there's no yellow, this is going to be good here. But if our poll was correct, looks like everybody seems to think we are going to have a green-white checker.
Well, as that kind of big, probably the biggest I've seen in a while, chase pack catches on up to the field here. The 23 of Mark Collins giving a big push here to that 55, trying to get him back up here and back into the game. Looks like that's the 88 of Zach Staten trying to jump on board with him here. Kind of like a bridge move that you would see in the Tour de France, trying to close that gap and bring everybody back on together here as we enter in 4 laps left to go. We got 20 people all within a second and a half of each other, all trying to fight and get every position possible out of this thing as the one of Derek Welsh gets the lead here on the outside lane.
So I think the green flag pit stops space these guys out. We saw that last night, and it was a little bit less intense during portions of the race where they had green flag pit stops that kind of spaced everybody out. But it looks like they're quickly regathering 2 wide back here. And this chase pack is quickly catching the lead pack. They're there. They've caught them.
They are there with 3 laps now left remaining as everything is going to get tossed out the window because, man, oh man, this thing is going to get intense as here comes the 42 on that far outside lane. He's got some help there from the 51, his teammate Joshua Moore, trying to push that far outside line up to the front. The 1 in the 00 still working together. Same thing with the 6 down low. He's got the 4 helping him on out.
The 82 of Wyndham had such a huge run. It wouldn't surprise me if he's got the fastest lap this time around. That guy was moving, son, and he had the 30 pushing him.
Coming on down and
188. That is his fastest lap.
Coming on down into the final 2 laps here. Everybody all bunched back up. And you know what aided that? Was that giant pack that came down and pitted in that first go-around. I think that's what saved them. I think if they were only 5 or 6 cars deep, I don't think that pack would have been able to do that. But everybody in it with a chance to win it here tonight with a lap and a half left to go here. Derek Welsh, Paul Durkee, Kevin Winker, 3 wide here for the lead.
Here we go. This is where it's going to get intense. This is where we're going to see if Ricky and Officer Love were right in voting no on the green-white checker.
That's
white flag.
Still got to wait for them to come across the line, and it looks like they will. So no green-white checker here tonight. This is going to be the final lap of this race here at Talladega as we are 3 wide, 6 deep here in the final lap. Beating and banging, bumper grinding action going on up here at the front as the 6 still getting that big push from the 4. The 1 with the 00 and the 42 with the 51. Teammates helping teammates here. Going down this back straightaway, down into turns 3 and 4. Still 3 wide as they make their way down through these turns. Coming on down through it, exiting turn number 4. The 42 getting not the best of runs off of this corner. He needs some help. He needs some space as the gets the side draft off of the 1. It's going to be an absolute drag race to the line here. 3 wide still, beating and banging. Rex going on behind them. 5 wide, 6 wide as they come across the line. Photo finish. And as of right now, it looks like it's going to be Derek Welch, I think, coming
across. 1,000th of a second. I've got the score right here. 1,000th of a second he beat Paul Durkee.
That was a finish.
Holy crap.
Thankfully, we do have that kind of start-finish line camera. Let's watch.
Yeah, we do.
Watch this thing going into this tri-oval. Man, I got to give these guys credits. They ended up crossing the line 5, 6 wide here across the end, and they kept it off each other as best as they could. The 6 trading a little bit of paint there with the 1. Oh, big moves here. Big shove from the 00 to the 42 as the 51 was side by side with him here. And now let's go into this photo finish line. Checkered flag was waving. Oh my goodness. I need to do this frame by frame here.
You're going to have to. That's so close of an interval. That's a layer of paint separating first and second place.
The 6 of Paul Durkee. If he if he was able to put that transponder on the outside of his nose, he would have picked up the win here tonight. But no, it goes to that one of Derek Welsh. But not only that, but let's see what the finish was here for third, and it's going to go to the 4 by a nose as well, as he had that double Ocho out there behind him. The 42 followed by the 51. Good golly, you can see there on that Gulf Coast 55 machine missing a ton of paint on that inside line. Oh my God, these guys did a great job as they came across the line here tonight.
That's the way to finish a race right there. That is the perfect way to finish a race.
What a mob of trucks, man. That's incredible. That is an incredible few frames right there. All of those trucks coming across in one big gaggle. I love it. This is the kind of racing I love, and you know, it's just been a joy.
Man, you are not kidding. Now, as the one celebrates, man, I think this is his third win here this season over here at HCK Beagles. I think he might need to rethink his story of hating on these plate tracks. Let's go ahead and talk to some of our. Actually, no, we have to announce a couple fans of the race here tonight.
I'm working on it. Give me go ahead with the other thing. I'll come back to.
Oh, okay. So let's start these interviews off with the 4 of Eric Stoy. Went from going up into space and orbiting the moon on the way down to a podium finish here in third. Eric, great run here, and oh man, it was a finish of the ages here tonight.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I'm just glad that my teammate Paul, he got second. That was just my job, just to help each other out and push each other to the win, but it came just an inch short.
Well, we were kind of watching as the green flag pit stops happened. It looked like there for a while, if that chase pack didn't come on down with as many drivers as they did, it looked like it was going to be a 2v2v2 between the teams here.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know how that ended up working out. I know that we were just trying to save gas all the way in the pack, but we were just going to be a little short. So we decided to stay as one and stay together and hopefully to get the win. But yeah, if that pack never got there, it'd been a crazy ride.
Well, let's see. Next week, you guys are going to be at iRacing Super Speedway for 70 laps out there. We know there's been some netcode issues in the past with this truck there at iRacing Super Speedway. It seems like they're starting to get some of that worked out. Is that something you're going to be mindful of and try to give people a little bit of extra room next week?
Yeah, I think that, for me, I think that'd be a good idea. Just I know how iRacing is. Going into turns, you kind of push up. But I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to try to play it safe. I can't really tell anyone else how to drive, but my goal is stay safe.
Yeah, my question is going to be what is the strategy difference between, say, Talladega and iRacing Super Speedway?
I would say there's not much of a difference. The only thing I would honestly say is stay up front. I think track position there is most important. Yeah, you can get a huge run off the drafts, but you can't really push 3 wide there as you can in Talladega. So my thing is stay on the bottom and stay up front.
Awesome, man. Well, again, a solid, hard-fought third-place finish for you here tonight. Before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. First of all, you guys are doing a great job, like you
Thanks,
do
man.
all the time. Also to my girlfriend and my little baby boy, Kyler, and my teammates for sticking together.
Kyler's probably getting big already, ain't he?
Oh, he is. He's a handful, but I love him to death.
Time's going to fly for the next 18 years, my friend. Enjoy those young years while you can.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Heading on down.
I've got that announcement ready for you, if you're ready for me, buddy.
Go for it, my friend.
So tonight's fans of the race are Paul F., and Casey Jones over there on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for participating and commenting. Also, thanks to the rest of y'all. You know, we get to pick 2 every week, but it's really, really hard to pick 2. We've got so many great fans. Officer Love, thanks again for joining us once again. Carol Hansley, as always. The Smith girls out there as well. You know, Ricky, you know, Paul we mentioned, Linda, you know, Corbin. Thank y'all so much out there. You know, y'all are the reason we do this, and thank y'all so much. And if y'all like what you see, you know, hit that thumbs up deal down there and subscribe to us so you don't miss any races. But we'll see you guys tomorrow night with VRL. So make sure and come back tomorrow night. Go ahead there, Brown. I've said enough.
Alrighty, as we are now going to talk to tonight's second place finisher. Had a solid night just about all night long, and that's going to the number 6 machine of Paul Durkee. Man, Paul, seriously, if you had just strapped that transponder to the outside of your front bumper there, I think you might have been able to find yourself there in that first spot. Still a heck of a photo finish here tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without Story pushing me. He's a hell of a teammate. We thought we had it, but our other teammate Stump got a little crossed up on our last pit stop, so we lost one of our pushers, and nobody wanted to work with us on the bottom there. So, but great points for us.
You guys did the best you could with what you had, and yeah, that teamwork definitely paid off for you guys. And yeah, there wasn't a layer of paint separating you and Welch out there. It was 1,000th of a second officially on the score there.
Yeah, you know, I hate losing, but I don't mind losing to Derek. He's one of the really good guys in here. So, you know, he races really clean, and he deserves it.
Well, congrats on P2 there. 1,000th of a second doesn't get much closer than that. What are your thoughts on iRacing Super Speedway next week?
It's not my favorite.
Common theme.
You know, you guys, this is 1/1000th of a second, but I don't know if you guys remember last season, I had that dead heat with Lawson. I don't know if you remember that race.
Oh man, I've slipped too many times since then, and
that was
enjoyed too many libations since then as well.
Yeah, that was 0-0-0-0 finish.
Oh my god!
But no, it was a good race. It's just a great fun league, and a lot of good guys in here.
Yeah, man, again, a solid run there from you and your teammate there for Eric Stoy. Before I let you go here, Paul, my good neighbor up here in New Hampshire, got any final shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my teammate Stoy and Naylor, and thank you guys. You guys do a great job week in, week out, and Race Control did a good job tonight. It was a tough spot coming in on short notice, but he did a good job.
Well, you're a class act, buddy. You know, you're one of the guys that we really enjoy it when you do well. And thanks so much, and good luck next week, buddy.
Well, thank you. Hey, it's old guy power.
That's right, man. We got to stick together.
That's right. All right, thanks, guys.
And heading on up to that number 1 spot, and it's fitting that his car number is just that. It's the one of Derek Welch. Man, I think this is bogus that you're hating on these super speedways, because you're picking up a third last night. You're picking up a win here tonight. Now, albeit tonight was a drag race photo finish for it, but still, heck of a run here for that number 1 machine.
Well, yeah, you might think it's bogus, but you know, it is true. But yeah, that was a great race. This whole race was frustrating for me. It was hard. It seemed like I couldn't. I get up 3 wide with somebody and I just get taken out, and yeah, it was a scary race. Everybody just all over the place, going 3 wide, and you never know when one's gonna happen. And it seemed like when I went 3 wide, it happened. And but that last stint right there went 3 wide. I pushed Joseph to lead. Then I finally got teamed up with Joe, and me and Joe was able to get teamed up, and then the rest of my teammates followed, and we was able to inch it out.
Well, you, Joe, Tom, and Mark, when we saw y'all all come down and pit at the same time, and when y'all came out, I started to say it too. I thought y'all were going to be cycled all the way to the front, but there was some faster trucks out there. Y'all just couldn't quite get there. But then when I saw y'all all lined up on that middle lane, I thought to myself, well, that was the place to be at the next gen race that y'all had last night. You know, they might make something happen here. And for the most part, you guys did pretty well running together as a team. Is that going to kind of carry forward to next week? We know that iRacing Super Speedway is a beast. There's netcode issues there. There's, the transitions going in and out of the corners. There's so much side-to-side movement. What are you guys thinking about next week?
Just stay out of trouble. I mean, that's the only thing you say. Just give the driver beside you enough room, especially in those transitions. And last time we was there, I was able to pick up a win there. But our racing super speedway's luck. You survive it or you don't. But yeah, it's super speedways. I'm in this league. I'm having fun. But they scared the living hell out of me.
I understand that feeling quite well. I'm kind of in the same boat with you on that one. But still, congrats on the P1. Sounds like you guys have a solid plan for next week. What else are you looking forward to next week?
I'm looking forward to that next gen race we got coming up next week. Watkins Glen. I know it's not the spectator race, but that's what I'm looking forward to. But then we got iRacing Super Speedway the very next day, so that's a definite transition.
I know we're definitely looking forward to that Watkins Glen race. That's my all-time favorite road course to watch, and I know that Adam Turner's, you know how grouchy and crap he gets with the road courses, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy that one too. So enjoy this win, and we'll see you. We'll see you next week, bud.
All right, bud.
Well, before you go, do you got any shout-outs?
Oh yeah. Team NTR. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Joe Bennett, Mark Collins, Tom Barish. They pushed me to the win. I was kind of hoping I could push Joe to the win tonight, but for some reason it got flip-flopped a little bit. But glad to take it. 3 this season. Team NTR should take the points lead in the team-wise, and I should have the points lead back taken for the Drivers Championship. And NTG, love y'all guys. DEP paints. He paint my truck, Joe's truck, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight, and we look forward to seeing y'all race around here again next week.
All right, bro.
Ooh, man. Oh, man. When I say this is why I love horse track racing and super speedway racing, this is why I love horse track racing and super speedway racing. You don't get action like that through an entire 65-lap race and have it all come on down to a photo finish.
And not just the .001 difference between first and second. Look, between first and 10th was 0.2 seconds. 0.2 of a second, you had 10 cars cross the finish line. Even add another 10th to that, the first 13, 14 cars all in a big old gaggle, big group coming through there at, what do they run, 190 miles an hour? all together like that. It was a beautiful thing. What a great finish. I'm glad it didn't end with, the leaders wrecking each other out and stuff like that. We've seen a lot of that at Talladega, but oh man, the finish was worth the wait. I'm so glad that our viewers got to see it tonight.
Yeah, that was one of the best super speedway finishes I've seen in a long, long time. Very impressed with these guys.
Yes, sir, indeed. So speaking of finishing, let's talk about where everybody did finish here tonight, and that's with Derek Welsh up 16 spots on that number 1 position. Great run from him. Same thing with that 6 of Paul Durkee and the 4 of Eric Stoy working together here in those final few laps to finish 2nd and 3rd. Double O Joe did all his work he could do to push that one machine, and he got a solid 4th place finish here tonight. Same thing with that 42. Kevin Winker looked like he was finally going to start maybe breaking that string of not podium finishes for him, but just shy of that here, but it's still a solid top 5 finish for Kevin. You got the 51 Joshua Moore trying to help him out as well, your pole award winner once again, finishing here in 6th. Looks like Tom Barish in that 55 machine is going to be your hard charger of the day, up 26 spots to finish here in 7th. That is definitely conducive of a hard charger. You got the 88 of Zach Staten finishing up there in 8th, with the 84 Josh Bittner in 9th. And the 23 of Mark Collins, we talked to him a little bit earlier today. He's up 11 spots to finish here inside this top 10.
Cody Staten lost a couple spots, still solid finish there in 11th. Henry Wyndham, Mr. Patience, working his way up through the field from 26th. He'll finish in 12th. Gregory Turner works his way up from 30th to 13th place. Keith Miller finishes at 14th. And rounding out your top 15 there, Cale Turbeville in the 64. 86 of Jake Bunjo finished right where he started in 16th place. Austin Johnson in 12. We didn't call his name a whole bunch tonight, but solid finish right there, 4/10 behind the leader on the lead lap, finishing in 17th place. 75, Brian Skidmore, up 9 spots to finish in 18th place. Rodney Griffin in the 97, also up a bunch of spots to finish in 19th. Rounding out your top 20 here, our buddy in the 13, Earl Evans.
Albert Anderson, America's driver, started on the outside front row, ended up 21st. Not the best night for him. J.A. Burton up 1 spot in 22nd. Stephen Naylor dropped 3 spots to 23rd. Dusty Smith finished right where he started in 24th. Michael Hicks in 25th. Hunter Smith 26th. First car a lap down. Michael Reynolds in 27th. Mike Adamson 28th. Matthew Jones in 29th. And Andrew Hansley in 30th. Those guys didn't have the best of days today.
Yeah, neither did Kenneth Stocks in the 28. He had some front end damage, kind of hurt him. He'll be the only truck 3 laps down tonight to finish in 31st. Zach Dillon, oh man, he had a couple of wild rides out there tonight. The 20 machine will finish 32nd. Joshua Freed disconnected a little bit early. The 96 machine will finish 41 laps down in 33rd place. And that rounds out your field, it looks like, fellas. What a great race tonight. Thanks so much to Michael Newton out there for doing a great job as race control. Can't wait for next week, man. I love watching these trucks run at some plate racing, some good old pack racing tracks.
Man, oh man, you can't be any more right than that. And as always, it's only made possible by some great sponsors like AdminBoxx. Go ahead and get your admin button box here today so you can jump in and join this great race in action, as well as, control the race, throw those cautions, do the wave arounds that you need to do. So big thank you to them. Other people that we haven't mentioned here tonight, Dubby. Go and order your Dubby at Dubby.gg, the proud energy sponsor over here at HCK. Beagles Racing League. Use code HCK at checkout for your 10% off. And man, is their stuff absolutely delicious. But not only that, when you have a race like we had here tonight, you need that energy to keep up with the action. And Dubby does just that with its jitterlessness whatever. But you don't get
Fearless energy.
you don't get jittery, and there's no sugar added, so it's a pretty solid choice. And you know what? Just drinking a little bit of that rather than ordering that $20 cup of coffee you'd get at Starbucks, man, it can save you money in that long run. So be sure to go and order your Dubby today, as well as today's race sponsor of Freedom Landscaping. Go and give them a call at 336-909-0629 to jump on their client list to get your lawn professionally taken care of today, as well as Davidson Builders, the premier remodeling experts up there in the northern New Jersey area, jumping on board all season long. We thank them for coming on out here and joining us here as always, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com. Go ahead and order your HCK Beagles Racing merch now and get it shipped right to your door. They do a great job over there. That's Mr. Josh Bittner's kind of little startup thing. And man, it's not often that we get to talk about real life racing, but he's been on a few real life cars and even sponsored a lap at a special track. I forget which one it was, but they're out there putting the name out, so be sure to join them for all your merchandising needs. And of course, all you fans out there, we definitely wouldn't be doing this without y'all, because otherwise it's just three talking heads, and man, that stuff just gets boring. Thank you guys for coming out each and every single night as you guys make it the race that it is. So on that note, we'll see you all again here tomorrow night as we have some special race action coming from the Vigilante Racing League. We got old school versus new guard coming up tomorrow night, and that's going to showcase some of the new drivers as well as some of your old favorites coming back and having a good battle before the season even starts. So you do not want to miss that one. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Mr. Greg Klein. We'll be looking forward to you. See ya.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Greg Klein, once again for stepping up and filling in for Turner while he's gone. We really appreciate all of your racing insight and expertise. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you. We gone.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time.